Yo, what is good? Yo, we appreciate you guys tuning in to the brand new Shop Culture. Thank you for joining us here in 2021. And it is January 13th, 2021. Appreciate you guys so much for joining us and tuning in. Please let me introduce the co host to Shop Culture, Mr. Barry Crosby Jr.
It's not Junior no more. It's Barry Crosby. No, it's Barry Crosby Jr.
Oh boy,
What's up?
here we go. Here we go.
How's everybody doing?
Yo, please allow me to introduce Dr. James R. Hill. Dr. Hill, how you feel?
What's going on, people? Glad everybody tuned in. We got a good one for you tonight.
Absolutely, we got a good one.
Yo, we got a few things to talk about, fellas. Tonight is our 12th episode. Like, how you guys feeling heading into 2021, heading into our 12th episode?
I'm excited, man. This is it's such a wonderful thing when you start something and it's kind of growing and it's growing at this rate, and the viewership, people are tuning in, people are commenting, people are seeing that they are enjoying the show. So it's a great feeling. So we want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in and every Tuesday at 8:30. So we so appreciate each and every one of you.
Absolutely. We trying to get our viewership to grow. So tell a friend, because we're trying to share.
We can all be friends.
We're trying to share some good stuff with you to help you live your life a little better.
Absolutely. And once again, guys, we want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. This is Shop Culture. I'm joined by, you know who he is, the relationship guru, Mr. / Dr. James R. Hill. Hey, real quick, Mr. Hill, people ask me something. What does the R stand for? Because I want to put something like that in my name. I want to say Barry something. That's cool. What does it stand for, though?
That's my middle initial.
Okay, you want to tell us the name? What's the middle? Talk to it.
Reginald.
Oh, wow. I would have never guessed that.
That is prestigious as all can be. That's very prestigious right there.
Well, I'm going to change my name. I want to say Barry something. So put in the comments where you want me to change my initials to, because I'm going to do the same thing. You can't be the only one.
Do I get a vote in that? Do I get a vote?
Well, let's just use Kenyan, since that's the one I heard.
My middle. All right. And then once again, we're joined by that's a good one, John. We're joined by you know who he is. He goes by just the voice.
Yo, how you guys doing, man? Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Got a jam-packed show for you guys tonight. So yo, Barry Crosby, Mr. Hill, Dr. Hill. Yo, tell me how your weekend went. Like, what was like the first full weekend in January like for you fellas?
Well, real quick, we see some comments, we want to acknowledge everybody. D'Angelo, what's good, man? He said, what's good? V, good evening, gentlemen. It's actually January 12th, 2021. She's telling you, Twan.
Oh no, trust me. We got that memo already. All the days are starting to run together at this point. I apologize. To all of our people. It is the 12th, not the 13th.
Yes. And Jason, what's up, brother? How you been, man? He says, yes, Shop Culture, what it is. Talk to me, man. And D'Angelo says, getting down. V, how you doing, Miss V? How you living? She says, VCJ. I like that. All right. That might be the name. Okay, I like that. PC, what's up, my people? And man, let's get to it.
What we got?
Yo, gentlemen, how was your weekend? Like the first full weekend in January, how did it go for you guys?
I'm handicapped. How do you think it went?
I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I don't want to speculate. Handicapped people have fun.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was a chill weekend. Stayed at home. We're still in the middle of this mess, so you still got to be cautious and careful. So, we stayed home, watched some football, did some cooking, trying new things, new recipes, stuff like that. That's always exciting. Trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, man. That's really all you can do. It was a disappointing. Actually, I don't really want to add. It was a disappointing weekend with the Hawks losing. Just a terrible game. It was just my goodness. I was, and everybody knows Russell Wilson is my favorite player in the National Football League by far. And I want to blame play calling, but man, some of that was just bad decisions on Russell's part. So hard game to watch. Dr. James, I'm going to listen to you for next year. I'm not going to bet on the first two games.
Okay. Yeah.
Tough man.
Get it together, man. Or that's all I'm going to say. He needs to get it together.
And real quickly, guys, thank you for tuning in. People are chiming in. We see about 34, 35 people watching. We appreciate it. Keep on growing it. Share the page. Somebody says, Doctor, he's tuning in because he wants to hear from the doctor. So Doctor already got he got his fan base up. Man, let's get it. Let's go.
What you got?
Yo, let's go ahead and rip into these and see what the people is talking about. D'Angelo said that the Hawks is trash. Barry? I mean, you was gassing them up, and D'Angelo straight up said that they trash.
You don't know football.
I think we need to move on because you're hitting a nerve when you talk about my Seahawks.
Come on, talk to him, James, and me too, because it was a bad game. We lost, so that's all I can say.
Let's move on.
Ryan would have probably agreed with you guys then because he said that Ryan said that it was a rough weekend for sure.
Absolutely.
V, appreciate you, V, said the Hawks just didn't have it. They have to protect the quarterback.
Cool. Okay, so we got it. They had a bad game. They're trash. Let's move on. Okay.
We got it.
Oh, man.
Let's get to our agenda.
Yeah.
One of the things that we left off with on our last full episode on Wednesday, which was kind of a rarity for us to do a Wednesday show. One of the things we talked about at the very end of the show was how important is the oral aspect as far as sex in your relationship. Like, is oral sex a big thing? Is it important to a relationship? We vowed that we were going to get into this off top this week. So let's go ahead and talk about it, fellas. Like, is oral like an important thing in a relationship?
Do we got a meme up there?
I'm sorry. Let Doctor talk. Yep.
Go for it, Doc. Yo, is oral an important thing in a relationship?
I think absolutely. It's part of the connectivity towards two people, and it's more important. And now that was the question that I remember. It was a little more specific than that. Don't we have a meme to put up for that?
Yo, we don't have one for that one. We got some for our following questions, and we got a few of those. I think what this is a jam-packed show.
I think what Doctor was saying is, why do black men? we're getting specific.
We getting specific, huh? I mean, Doc, there is. I mean, there's some ideas out there, but gentlemen, black gentlemen,
that's offensive.
Is that a thing? Like, do we not give the oral though?
I want to hear some of these comments, and I hope some brothers are tuning in. Because I want to hear the comment. Because the old adage is, brothers, oh no, I don't give oral, I don't eat pussy, blah, blah, blah.
I think Naomi's watching. Hold on, Mom. Sorry, Mom.
That's what you say, to your partners and all that, until the time comes.
Oh, in the barbershop, because I'm leading the charge on that one.
Oh, boy. I mean, D'Angelo said yes, but they got to get an offensive line for the Hawks. We're going to leave the Hawks alone all the way, D'Angelo. But he also said that oral is very important. Kenada said, yeah, for sure. To me, it's more intimate than giving a woman or a pleasure.
Wow. I think that's a generational thing too, because I think older men don't really do that, do they?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe, did I overstep? Stay in my lane.
I'm trying to follow where you're going with this.
Back in the day, men never admitted that. So this is
They never admitted that. But let's hear from the women. Are black men really into this? Because from popular consensus is that black men aren't really into this. It's not that they won't do it. They won't perform it if it's really a request of their woman, but are they actually into it?
And my thing is, you should do it if you love to do it, right? Because if you don't really love doing it, don't do it.
Well, what it comes down to is, do you love pleasing your partner? Do you love her to receive?
Good aspect.
Is that a turn on for you to see your woman pleased sexually?
But there's other aspects of it. Oral sex is not the only thing.
Okay.
Barry, why did you side so heavily at that one, though? You side extra heavy on that one, bro.
Hold on. But what if that's a requirement? What if that's what she wants? What if that's what she likes?
Then you fire her.
What if that's what floats her boat?
Well, then you're saying basically that's a non-negotiable. So when you having this discussion, when you guys first meet, right, in the non-negotiables, and she says, "Man, if you don't do oral sex, we can't kick it." What do you? I mean,
okay, so let's say you're into this woman, and she says, "I don't want to have intercourse, but we can do oral sex." Are you down with that?
That's a slap in the face.
All right. At that point, I need the definition of we. Like, are we French, or like, is this a you're going to do this, or I'm going to do this, or is this going to be even exchange?
Listen to what I'm saying. I said we. If she says we can do, but no intercourse, are you down with that?
It depends on. Okay.
So the hesitation tells me that you're looking out for yourself and not for mutual pleasure. It's not a mutual pleasure thing for you.
Dr. James, that's insulting.
A little bit.
Because everybody has their different things they're into. I can say about 3 or 4 things I might be into that you might not be into. Am I right to say, hey, you're selfish because you're not into the things I particularly care and like, right?
No, but I'm saying
why, everybody likes different things. I just noticed that you're right. It seemed like recently it seems like oral sex is such an important factor for a lot of people. But that's why we have toys. That's why we have a lot of different things, right? To help satisfy.
If that's what she wants, I mean, is it wrong for a man to enjoy pleasuring his woman orally?
But we're talking about the men that don't necessarily want to do it, right? We're not talking about the men that love to do it.
No. We're talking about black men, and what's the problem with it? Why do black men have a problem with it? Or are they just lying about it?
I think it's a control thing. I think it's a power thing. Because we're used to, kind of somewhat being an alpha and dominating that situation and being like, that's what the woman does for you.
No, and you don't think that's a one-sided way of looking at things?
No. What if she likes to do it? It seems like a lot of women love to do it, right?
Right, and a lot of men do too. So you just have
to that wasn't the question. The question is, you said, why don't a lot of black men admit to doing it, right? So if they're not admitting that they do it, that means that they probably don't love to do it.
Okay. Have you ever seen that really beautiful woman with that white guy and you say, how'd that happen?
Oh, wait. You're saying because
snap.
Dr. James.
Snap, man. Shots fired.
Have you ever seen that and you say, how the hell that happened?
No, because she's using never mind. Yeah, I have seen that. And I think it's probably more than just the oral sex. I'm pretty sure probably the oral sex is part of the equation, right? Part of the allure. It could be, right?
That's a contributing factor. That is a contributing factor.
But I think when it comes down to it, it comes down to the sex, right? It comes down to that thing, that intimacy. That connection. Can you?
And that's not, and you don't, and that's part of it. That's part of it.
So okay,
that.
let's put it like this: the oral sex is the appetizer, but the main course, the main dish, is the sex.
Absolutely, the intercourse itself is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Right.
Even though it might be less than 5 minutes, it's still it's still the intercourse.
Oh
Still the
no,
sex.
no! At less than 5 minutes, you can't even record that. Stop that. No.
Nah, man. Listen, bro. It's all about quality, right?
Okay, that's what I'm
We can always
talking
put
about.
numbers on it. People can lie. We can lie on here. Oh, I go 25 minutes. Well, 22 minutes of that was really nothing. The last
but
three, when you're putting it out.
But listen to this. So you're saying 5 minutes. You're putting the time. You're setting your stopwatch. So while you're watching your stopwatch, and she's enjoying what you're doing and saying don't stop, where do you go from there?
I turn her over. She gets on top and she does the work.
No, you don't stop, and you give her what she.
So you're talking about? Wait, hold on, Doc. So you're talking about the whole time? Are you changing positions, or the position still the same? I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's so much.
We're talking about oral.
Okay, oral part of it. Okay.
Yo, gentlemen, we got to get to some of these. One of them being V. She said it's very important. It's about foreplay. The average sex act only lasts about 5 minutes, but add oral and it can last longer. Sometimes that's the only way a woman can get off. Not that's true.
True.
About the brothers. She said that's not true about the brothers.
Who said that?
V.
Okay. So V, you're saying that there's a lot of brothers that do it. That's basically what V is saying. I'm guessing, right?
She's saying that it could be longer than 5 minutes. It could be extended outside of that 5 minutes.
Okay, but we're talking about brothers doing it, right?
She mentioned the brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said it could be extended, past that 5 minutes with brothers.
If oral is interjected into it, it's going to last longer than 4 minutes, and she's more likely to reach orgasm. That's what she's saying. So what it comes down to is, brothers, is it important to you that your woman reaches orgasm, or are you just looking at it for yourself? Because like she said, 5 to 7 minutes, and it's a wrap for most brothers, but she didn't get there.
Good question. Good question. Yo, Cece said
maybe her mind has a blockage too, Doc.
Oh.
If you're doing it right, if you're doing the right things the right way, you're gonna break down all blockages, and you're gonna get her there.
Ooh.
That's why he's the doctor, and that's why I'm over in this chair. So
man, I'm all the way back here. Yeah,
it's all a matter of what you want. Is that what you want to give? I mean, is it arouse you to see her aroused?
So,
and if it doesn't, then that's kind of a selfish way of thinking.
So, Doc, are you saying every single time that you have sex that you have to, as a man, please your woman?
That's the goal.
Really? That's okay.
But there are some times you may not even be in the mood for sex. If she sees you're tired, you need a release, she may give you that release and put you to sleep. That's a selfless act from her, and it should also be reciprocated.
Wait. So if I'm tired, I still have to have sex with her?
No, you don't.
Okay.
But if you're tired, are you going to say she can't give you oral sex?
Yeah, if I'm tired, yeah, because I want to sleep.
Okay, but you're going to sleep after that.
Oh, for sure. You definitely go sleep after that.
Huh.
So you're saying if you're sleeping and she just wants to lay there, she just wants to put you to sleep, she just wants to milk you, put you to sleep, you're going to say no to that?
I mean, it depends. I mean, it's all depending, right?
No, come on, be real. You're gonna say no. You can't give me a blowjob.
Okay, but Doc, this is the thing, and I will say this: not everybody's into oral sex, right?
Okay.
And that's just the extent of it. Some people are into it way more than others, and some people are not.
Okay, well, what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with oral sex?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
it. Is it more of a timing thing?
What are you talking about more than a timing thing?
You said, if you have a headache or you're tired, So is it a timing thing that
could be
that's
just
not
like
the
when
right
a woman
time?
just like when a woman has a tired or has a headache, right? There's times that she doesn't want to necessarily have sex, and you have to respect that. You might get in your feelings or
But
whatever.
do you think if you're going to go down and give her oral and reach her to orgasm and put her to sleep, she's going to refuse that?
We got to ask the women. I don't know.
Ooh, we got some catching up to do because there's been a few people that have said a
Hey,
whole
somebody
lot.
in the background said nope.
And how many times has that actually happened, ladies? I want to know.
Yo,
And let's be honest, though, Doc. Am I right in saying this? Not every woman knows how to do it. Let's be real.
oh yeah.
Well, that's where communication comes in.
You have to be open to hearing what your partner likes too.
Absolutely. And
not everybody's great at sex. Not everybody's the best at sex. Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and say, "Hey, out of 10, I might be a 4 or 5, but I'm willing to work at it."
Right. And
Yo,
then
you know what? Go
you
for
have
it.
you have to be able to deliver constructive criticism in the right way, and
Yeah.
it has to be received. It can't be in a domineering, degrading, or demeaning way. It has to be constructive, something that's going to help the process to get better.
True, but sometimes you get frustrated. Sex is interesting because I just think everybody has such a high ego when it comes to sex. I think people don't really want to hear the truth on it, right? I mean, we all have feelings. We don't. So it's a hard thing to hear the truth of. Let's say you're not satisfying and pleasing your partner. Do you want to hear that? I mean, do you honestly want to hear that?
I would rather hear that than her go somewhere else to get it.
Ooh, good point.
Then I can work on that.
Good point.
Then I can ask the question, well, what is it going to take? Is there something I can do differently? Well, let's try that. And the experimentation phase, you're going to enjoy that. You're both going to enjoy it.
You hope so. You know what? No, you hope so because sometimes the vibe. Okay, I'll give you an example. Talking during sex. All right.
Uh-huh.
Some people are not into it.
Right.
But to me, that is a really important aspect of sex.
Okay.
So is that a non-negotiable? Am I, saying if somebody's not into it? I mean, how do you go about in trying to, just like you said, the oral sex part of it? What about getting them to talk during it?
Well, then you have to start the talk. You have to start the conversation.
Well, what if they don't know how to talk? They're shrugging.
Then you tell them what you want to hear.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just asking for everybody in the audience.
Tell them what you want to hear up front. You want to hear.
So you want her to lie to you? I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. Lie to me.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Lie feed. Yeah.
Hey, it's lying season. It's lying January.
I don't know about the lies. Be real. Be upfront.
But that's what we're saying.
First of all, when you're having sex with someone, you should be able to open up and be totally vulnerable and open to that person with your needs and giving their needs. Or why are you giving your intimate self to this person?
Well, because you're physically attracted to them at that particular time.
At that particular time.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster because that particular time passes very quickly.
I mean, it can. But sometimes it's a season. Sometimes it's a season for people, man. Sometimes people come in your life for a particular season. It is, to me, I'm just saying for me, it's nothing wrong with that. Not everybody you sleep with, you're going to have a relationship with. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it is.
Okay.
But you still can have a meaningful relationship with that person.
Okay, you think so? And that's actually a good segue into our next topic.
Come on, Doc. Doc, I do my homework. We doing this. And once again, man, we want you guys to like and share Shop Culture. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tell us how you guys are feeling. We see a lot of comments. So, man, just keep on commenting.
Okay, so The Voice, can you put up that next one? We're not talking the advice. We're talking the first date sex. Okay. And that question the topic was brought up. If you have sex on the first date, can that turn into a meaningful relationship?
Absolutely.
You think so?
Why? Yeah, if you're grown, what? Because you had sex the first day, you can't have. It's all of a sudden a no that you can't have a relationship with that person.
No, it's not a hard and fast rule, but more often than not, it's not sustainable because people come with baggage. Now, if you have sex with someone on the first night, that leaves opening for a lot of first nights with a lot of different people. So what does that look like?
Okay, so I always hear this. Why is time such a big important factor when it comes to feelings and relationships? If you're feeling that person at that particular time, what is wrong with having sex with that person if you want to? I'm not saying everybody has to. I'm just saying if you want to.
There's
And
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Huh?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
So what you gonna lose respect for that person because you had sex with them? You respected them before you had sex with them. Why would you lose it after you had sex with them?
Or you acted like you respected them.
Okay, well, yes. So there you go. So just like they're lying about that. Thank you, Doc.
Why can't it be you respected them enough not to have sex with them on the first night? Is it a matter of respect or disrespect to have sex on the first night? And can that be sustainable?
So can I ask you, so you believe and you think that it's disrespectful to have sex with somebody the first night?
No, I don't. If two consenting adults are in agreement with that, that's fine. But what I think can happen is it's very easy to lose respect for someone after having sex on the first night.
But doctor, if I'm seeing this woman for 3 months, let's say we waited for 3 months and we do have sex and the sex A wasn't good and B, we're just not vibing. That's what I'm saying. What is the difference? The only difference is that we waited and wasted time of 3 months of our life, basically lying to each other or whatever the case might be. Just for what?
But after that 3 months, you've developed more of an intellectual connection. You've connected with each other on other levels than physical in order for you to move to that point where you can say, yes, we're going to take this to the next level and get physical. Okay. If it's not that good, you still care about each other and you still have that friendship and that line of communication where you can make it better.
Wow. That's very hopeful. I like it. It's nothing wrong with hoping that.
Well, you had hope because you stuck around 3 months before you engaged in sex. So there was a high level of hope there already.
Okay. Audience, what do you guys think? Sex on the first day or first night, excuse me. And do you think that you possibly could have a relationship with that person? Won't you guys comment on that? Obviously, me and the doc have a difference of opinion on that, but we want to hear from you guys.
Yo, V said I tried to have a one night stand, but it turned into a 6-month relationship.
There you go.
Now that was probably a situation. Well, was it based on sex? I mean, that's where you start. And a lot of times when people get into these situations where you have sex on the first night, where you don't really know each other or who each other are, if the sex is good, it may turn out that that's all you have is good sex and you don't vibe on any other levels. So you end up getting together for that good sex, and that will not sustain you for the long term. I see my boys Henry's one. Henry, I guess that comment's well. Oh, Henry said should be a priority, fellas, to see that your woman gets you.
Good point. Good point, Henry. Appreciate that. Yo, Teresa said, I think it would depend on how much you knew that person before was the first date.
Mm-hmm.
If you were friends first, it is more possible to make a relationship. But if it is someone you just met, then that is a little reckless.
Could be, and that's a fair point. Yeah. Is that even called a one night stand if you know the person before? I mean, I guess.
Yeah, is that what we still call a one night stand? That's a great question.
I don't know if you call that one night stand if you know the person beforehand. I think one night usually is you meet that person that night and it happens that night.
Right.
Until the early
morning. You meet a person, you converse, for a week, maybe 2 weeks, you go out first night, then you end up having sex. Are you going to lose respect for that person? Or can that be the beginning of a long-term sustainable relationship?
But I guess, doctor, that's an age thing too, because I think the older you, I mean, why are you going to have limitations on how you feel about somebody just on the timing aspect? I think you should be able to see if you vibe with the person, you see if you have something in common, and sometimes the physical takes over, and that's what it is.
Okay, but then you may develop feelings because when you engage in sex, feelings are exchanged. So
Not all the time. Not all the time.
you, if you tell me it doesn't happen, you're lying.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm what I hear is not all the time. Maybe they're lying to me.
Yeah, they're lying. And if you engage in physical sex with someone, there are a level of feelings that are exchanged. Some are deeper than others.
Yes.
And sometimes, I mean, so say you're just dating this person casually. You date them for the first time. You have sex. Okay, it's a casual relationship. There's no commitments, but you're digging this person. So now you see them next week out with another person. What's the first thing in your head? Oh, well, they're gonna have sex tonight too, because we did. So,
I mean, it could be, but also, I would say that would be if you're having sex with that person on a somewhat regular basis. Yes, feelings would get exchanged.
right.
But if it's not on a regular basis, I just don't see how it was because you guys don't have nothing established.
Right.
Now you might get in your feelings, hurt your feelings for about a second until you go out and meet somebody else, and then all of a sudden you're over the person. So I don't know how substantial or significant that is necessarily.
Valid point. Valid point. Yo, Stephanie said, if
How
you
you doing,
know, if you go into it knowing it's just sex, then it's just sex.
See? So Stephanie, can you separate the two? Can you just have sex and keep it just like that?
Gentlemen, as men, programmed and wired the way you are, is sex just sex, or is it an emotional thing if it's a one-timer? Like if it's off top, the first time you done did it with that particular person, are there emotions that are attached to that, or is it just what it is?
Feelings are exchanged. Where you go with those feelings after that depends on what the actions of the two of you beyond that. I mean, do you lose respect for that person? Does the other person say, "Oh, it was just sex. I don't have feelings for you," so you put your guard up? Or what the original question was, can it develop into a long-term sustainable relationship if you have sex on the first night?
And doctor, can I ask, are we talking about a relationship, or are we just talking about any type of relationship? Because it can also develop into a meaningful friendship too.
We're talking about a relationship that could go on to marriage or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I think it could, absolutely. I have a few people I know. Yeah, I know off the top of my head, I know several people. Actually, I was with one of them when he met his lady and then turned into his wife, and they did it at my house. So yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm saying
is that's a good thing.
Yeah, and not only that is different. Like when you used to go up to Canada, or I won't say you, but I'm just saying you go to Canada or different places. One night stands are I'm not saying typical, but commonplace.
Right. You dropped out a little bit there. But what you're saying is when you used to go up to Canada, that's all you was looking for. Because you're not going to stay the weekend. You're not staying any longer than the weekend, right?
I like the culture up there. That's the reason why I was going. The music.
Right. Okay, yeah. Culture.
The music. I'm the only one of us that has been a musician. And he says the music. Ain't that about something?
We all enjoy music, though.
Right.
So let's get some comments.
I want to say something that Jay Hustle said.
Jay
Hustle said, depends on the lady.
Yes.
A respectable lady can be horny too.
Oh, come on. Yes, she can be.
Yo, Cece said that Barry, you being a little biased.
Cece, what do you mean that I'm being a little bit biased on that? I don't understand.
Nicholas Jones said, I've been in situations where I've told both of the women what it is. This happened to be twice. And
Okay.
they both still got upset with me when I didn't want to pursue anything further than what it was, which was the situation being recreational pussy.
Okay, so if that is the case, then you have to take that up front and not afterwards. And you
Yeah,
have to,
Nick. Now wait a minute. Nick want to say this after the fact?
no,
Yeah.
you can't say that after the fact.
Nick said most women can't just keep it to sex without getting their feelings involved.
But that's what I said. I said if you're having continuous sex with somebody, yeah, feelings are going to get exchanged. And guys get their feelings, they get into their feelings too. So it's not just women on that. Guys
True.
get their feelings I
True.
would say women probably get into it more than the men, but
Exactly. And that's why you have to communicate these things up front on where you want this to go. And if it turns into a continual thing, when feelings start to get involved, that's when you need to break it off. If that's all it was going to be, was just a sexual relationship.
But doctor, I have a question for you then. Well, what if you don't know exactly? Because sometimes we go into situations and we don't know where it's going to evolve to. That's a part of the process. So I should
communicate. You got to talk about what you want, where you want this to go, or just we having sex and just happenstance, whatever happens, we're going to roll with it, or I don't want to be in a serious relationship, so let's not involve our feelings, and this is just for the physical enjoyment of us both. You got to get these things out up front. If it's a candid conversation and it's uncomfortable, you got to have that candid conversation.
I agree to a certain extent. I think that you can have those conversations, but relationships, and especially when you're dating, things change, and they change drastically. You can always have conversations, but sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you are confused. You like the person, but you're not sure if this is going to be a relationship. You're not sure but you enjoy being with that person at those particular times. So why should I limit myself because I don't know exactly what I want from them to not having sex with them? I don't know if that's.
But in general, you need to know what you want as a person, where you want to be. It may not be with this person, but if you, for instance, if a person says, I want to be married, it doesn't mean I want to marry you, but this is where that means this is where I'm heading. This is why I'm dating, because I want to be married, or I'm having sex. Well, I want to be in a relationship, or I just want to satisfy my physical needs. And I don't want to get my feelings involved because I've been hurt and I've been jaded. So I just have a need for this release. And I need you to have that same need without involving your feelings. And if that's the agreement, feelings are going to be exchanged on a repetitive sexual relationship. So when they start to get involved, that's when you need to break it off if that's not what the both of you want.
Okay, guys, let me ask the audience, what do you think about that? Again, me and Doc see a little different. I understand where Doc is coming from, and I think it's yes, you should. But as we know, when you're in a situation, you're in relationships or whatnot, sometimes things don't go as planned. Sometimes you don't necessarily know. Sometimes you like maybe multiple people. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that if that's what your choices are, but let that be known because everybody may not be down with that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Doc, we better get on to our next topic because it is getting time is moving. Guys, once again, thank you for tuning in. This is Shop Culture. Please like and share. We see you guys tuning in and watching, and we so appreciate it. Thank you. That's
A little late with that one.
Yep. The next one. Oh, yes.
This is a good one. Leave that up for a second. I want you guys to
women listen to other women or to a man for relationship advice, which makes more
read that a couple times, people. Let that marinate. So what makes more sense to you? a woman is having relationship issues,
Okay.
whatever they may be, and she comes to the point where she needs advice.
Mm-hmm.
Should she listen to other women, or should she turn to a man for that advice? What makes more sense to you guys? I want to hear this.
Women should, I think, probably more than likely talk to other women, because usually the man, we don't know that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Because as a man, you don't want to come across as you hating on the other man, right? So you want to, so I'm going to say, listen to your a woman who's maybe in the same situation or going through the same situation as you or similar.
So that woman is going through that same situation. She's going to be needing the same advice. So are you guys bouncing your problems off of each other, or are you taking an unbiased? Do you want some unbiased alternative advice from a man, because a man's perspective? I mean, a woman's train of thought, she's always going to have that.
Mm-hmm.
But does she want a man's perspective that could possibly sway her train of thought?
But honestly, okay.
You need to talk to a man. I said you need to talk to a man. Have a man in your life that you can trust, be it a platonic friend, be it an uncle, be it your father. If you have that kind of relationship with your father, have a man in your life that you can trust to get some relationship advice from if you're having problems. Pose these problems to a man and get his perspective.
Well, Doc, I'm going to tell you, most men probably don't want their woman talking to another man about their relationship. So I'm just, I don't know how, how would you feel, if your wife, I mean, you're kind of like, hold on here.
Well, I would appreciate her getting a man's perspective, because if she comes to the point where she needs to talk to another man, she's already been talking to her man. And she's come to kind of a standstill. She's run into a brick wall, and there's some breakdown in communication. She's not seeing his point of view. She's not seeing that her way, and she may need to hear it from another man.
Maybe like somebody, I think you said a father figure, maybe a brother or something like that, but probably another man. I don't know. I think that's a no-go.
Even a long-time childhood friend, someone that she trusts, a platonic friend that's in her life.
Is there such a thing?
There is actually such a thing.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I agree. I think there is platonic friends, but
Yo, Stephanie actually said depends on the woman. Some women tear down the man because she doesn't support the relationship. A woman that stands beside you will call you out and give you the advice. Mm-hmm. I do all the time. So it seems like it's a matter of where you're getting that advice from and where they're at in their life and relationship. Honestly, for me personally, I told my homeboy, I'm like, yo, I need you to get all the way off the phone, because the lady that you have beside you is down for you through all the ridiculousness. Get off the phone with me and go kick it with her. She's literally right there. I am across the country. So I think it depends a fair amount on where you're getting the relationship advice from, or where you're spending that extra time that you aren't spending with that person that supposedly you're interested in.
But if you're at a standstill,
yeah,
and you want an alternate perspective, if you're talking to women, you're going to get a similar perspective. Because women are emotional. Women think from the heart. Men are more practical, and they think more logically and in real time. But women all interject their feelings into their thoughts. Their emotions are always interjected into their thoughts. So to get a man's perspective is going to help you to better understand that man's perspective.
Okay.
That you're probably bumping heads with.
But Doc, though, I would also say it probably depends on what the situation is too, right?
Right.
because if the situation is, let's say, infidelity or something like that, I'm pretty sure, like, again, that you don't want, let's say the man might have been cheating. You don't want the woman to go to some other man to talk about that particular, you know? So I think
Right.
it's the topic. It's what it is. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if she goes, so if he's cheating
okay.
and she wants advice what to do, she should go to her girlfriends, right? And what are they going to say? Yeah, cut it off, girl, and then go to divorce. Send them to the doctor, get it sold back on. You know, they're gonna advocate for you. You
And
know,
but that's probably what she needs at that particular time. But not every woman's going to say, "Hey, go get a divorce." I know a lot of women would probably tell them to stick it out and see if they can work it out, right? Because divorce is a final act, and it's
right?
a act. So just getting it because somebody cheated on you, I don't know. Can it work? Can you guys work on it? If you guys go to counseling, so I guess it depends on who you're getting advice from.
Right. So what's the general consensus? What do you guys think? Man or woman? Should a woman go talk to a man? Should she talk to her brother when she needs relationship advice? When she's at a standstill? When she's hitting a brick wall with her man?
Or both? How about both?
What I see some comments up there that they're too far away for me to see though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Twan. The voice, I think he's trying to talk, or what are you trying to do?
You guys good? You all right there?
Well, yeah. You were talking, but nobody heard you. So what were you saying? Are you?
Our viewer Jeff Hill said, "I also definitely would not want to get any family member involved, especially about my relationship, because that could cause some additional judgment within your relationship from
Absolutely.
your family, and that's a no-no."
Right, but see,
Agree, Jeff.
if a woman is looking for a man for advice, you're looking for someone that you can trust, that you can confide in, that's not going to be spreading your business, all over the town or all throughout the family, things like that. This is a one-on-one conversation, and it shouldn't go any further than that. If you're seeking advice for your relationship, that's a personal thing, and that should be kept private.
But doctor, once you expose yourself and you put yourself out there, people are going to talk. I'm a barber. I hear everything. I'm just being honest with you. So you have to be cautious on who you discuss those type of situations with.
Right, and it comes down to a matter of trust. It has to be someone that you wholeheartedly trust, that you can trust, and whose advice that you actually value from the past. I mean, do you value this person's outlook and their logic, their train of thought? So you want to get their perspective on things. Henry says she should be talking to her girls. Got to be a trusted man in her life.
Yeah, we said like a father or a brother or somebody like that. Your barber.
Right. I mean, and a lot of times, maybe her girls want to see her break up so she can get with her man or something. Could that be?
Dog.
Could that be the thing? It does happen.
Dog, that's vicious.
Hey.
That's vicious.
Yo, Edwina, how you doing, Edwina? Said my friends would defend be of no help. They would completely be on my side. Guy friends are hard because they may have ulterior motives.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I agree with that. And a lot of times when women are going through situation like that, they're exposing themselves. And sometimes things do occur and it's not always the best situation for us, right? So
right. It happens. What's she saying? What is Stephanie saying happens? That she wants.
She said that it happens that your friend could hook up with your ex. That may be why they're steering your relationship or giving you advice that will help increase that separation, so they can go ahead and slide in.
that doesn't help. That doesn't happen a lot.
That does happen. And that's why I say the level of trust needs to be there. This needs to be someone that has your best interests at heart, that you can wholeheartedly trust.
Huh. That's
Nicholas Jones said she should talk to people who are already involved in a relationship
Yes.
and or married.
Yes.
They can give testimony as to how they worked through their trials and tribulations and give game as to how they keep their relationship and marriage thriving. Not just alive, but thriving.
Yes.
Right.
Well, yeah, thriving is, but I think I would say maybe in a managing relationship, because that's what relationships or marriages are too. So, I mean, what's the definition of thriving? So, I think somebody's in a marriage and is willing to talk to you, and you can see the steps that they took. Because usually it's nothing new that usually a marriage couple hasn't seen or been through before. So,
absolutely. And a lot of people have come to me for advice, for input, and things like this. What should I do? This situation type of thing. Me, myself, personally, I do not give people advice on what to do or what I think they should do, because I want people to make decisions for themselves. When people come to me with their issues, it's usually something that I have a similar experience in my life that I have went through.
Yes.
I bring up that situation, what happened, what I did, and what the outcome was.
Yes. Yes.
And then I leave it to them to make their own decisions on their situation.
Absolutely. Twan, can you read? Hey, what's up, Jeff? My guy Jeff has a good one. Can you read that comment, please? No, well, he can't read it, guys. So Jeff said, if your homegirl dates him after, you should thank her for it. She's there to keep him busy so you can move on without an old distraction. We all grown and know better. You don't want that attention to you and yours, then leave the public out of it. Absolutely, Jeff. In a nutshell, I absolutely agree with you on that. And yeah, that's tricky. Because what are the rules for that, Doc?
I didn't quite understand the whole thing.
No, he's saying if your homegirl dates him after. So, Jeff, are you saying once it's over and your girl at that time kicks it with one of your friends? Is that what you're saying? I'm not, because that is foul if that's the case. But if it's a year or two down the line, I don't know if is it still foul after that?
Even if it's a year or two down the line, whatever the case, now I see that, you look at your friend for that. And how good of a friend is that's going to go after a woman that you've been with? Because that's more likely than what it is. You look at your friend for that.
Some people would say Seattle's small, though.
Seattle is small, but still there's that unwritten rule. Have you met a woman that you possibly interested in, and then that she told you that she had been with one of your friends for a considerable amount of time, and you just back off and say, no, that's off limit?
Oh, you do? I'm just asking.
I'm asking you. I say that's that unwritten rule.
Okay.
That a lot of people abide by.
Let's ask the people what they think about it, because it's tricky. It's tricky. How about this? If a considerable amount of time has passed.
What is a considerable amount of time?
12 months.
No, I say 5 years.
5 years?
5 years.
You're old.
So?
Really? 5 years? Do you guys think 5 years is a considerable amount of time?
Doc, 5 seems a little extreme there. 5. I'm just saying, it seems a little. We don't even keep we have to keep records, for 7, but encroaching on 5 is like a little much there. Like
I was gonna say 10.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say maybe at the most, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, tops. Okay, or you have a discussion with your friend. How about that? You let them know, hey, what's up?
Yo, Katrina said, one day after or 10 years pass, I would never date my friend's ex.
Wow. At all?
Unwritten rule. That's that unwritten rule. That's what I speak of.
Between one day and 10 years, she's not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, wow, okay.
That seemed to be a general consensus. Stephanie said right after, I never date anyone my friends dated. Yuck.
Let's talk to the man.
V said, friends' exes are off limits. Never, ever.
Wow. So the women are in, they have a consensus going on here.
Yo, here you go from Jeff Hill. Yes, agreed 100%.
Okay, guys, somebody's lying through here.
Yo, you wanted a guy's perspective. Here it is. Not dating any of my friends' exes, period, because they split for a reason. Plus, that's street code.
That's unwritten rule. That's what I'm talking. That's the unwritten rule I'm talking about.
But we do have a slightly different opinion as well, Doctor. Mr. Nicholas Jones said the only way what happens is if my friend fucked around and died.
Wow. Oh, damn. I think that's colder, isn't that?
A little bit.
Okay. Well, guys, let's we're nearing the end. It is good. We can keep it going, but we can't. We don't do it like that. We want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in to Shop Culture. Like and share Shop Culture. And Dr. James, last words.
Are we at that point already?
Man, already. Hey, man, it is already.
Okay, people, I'm glad you tuned in. I hope you tune in to get something out of this. I hope you're getting something valuable out of this that's going to help you in your life. I just want you to remember that in every phase of your life, you are dealing with relationships that you need to manage. Maybe this is a relationship with your employer, with your kids, with your parents, with your loved one, with your brother. All of these relationships require managing. The best part, the most important part I feel of any relationship is the ability to listen and not be opinionated. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a good reason. Listen twice as much as you talk.
Yes. Look at this cool shirt. Muhammad Ali. Isn't that dope? I had to show that, man. That's filthy. It was one of my favorite athletes of all time.
Isn't that mine? Isn't that mine?
Ooh!
Yo, you got that in the medium for me, right?
It's fitted, man. It's fitted.
Extra large. Extra large.
Yeah, it's not for me, but yeah, you're right. Guys, once again, be on the lookout for the pop-up. We're gonna do it one of these days where we go on for about 20 minutes and we just go on a topic and we invite you guys to chime in. Guys, once again, thanks for tuning in to Shop Culture. Want to thank, who he is, my tag team partner, the relationship guru, Mr. / Dr. James R. Hill. And once again, we got the voice, Twan. And then I'm Barry Crosby, and this is Shop Culture. Thanks again for tuning in. Definitely stay blessed and be safe.